I don't know how I would have responded if a language was imposed onto me that I didn't understand. I have no connection to it.
Being expelled, knowing that you fought for something right, at least you can sleep peacefully at night. If you take a position of leadership,
yes,
you are fighting for students. You are putting your life on the line for what you believe it's going to benefit the masses. That's the system. You are agreeing with me.
I am saying, listen, I am saying that we're fighting the different people. We're not fighting the national party now.
No,
we're not fighting the national party. So you need to understand that you are in this space because of what happened in 1976.
Yes.
You are speaking your language and you are being taught in your mother tongue because of what happened in 1976.
Greetings to you all. My name is Nelson Mulibani, aka Gogi Nelson, the Green Campus Initiative Officer of Haneki Hall of Residence. Welcome to another episode of Student Leadership Unpacked. We have our beautiful visitors here today, our lovely visitors. I'll give them an opportunity to introduce themselves.
Hi guys, my name is Aisha Vetboy. I am the current Academic Affairs Officer of the SRC 2024 to 2025. I was invited to just come and give my perspective on what I think that June 16 was of 1976 and my perspective and reflections on it, yeah.
No, thank you very much. My name is Maui Tuyona, the former Deputy President and President of the SRC 2022-2023. Mine is just simple, just a reflection of what we are today as the youth and looking back as to what has inspired us from the youth of 1976. Yeah.
Okay, guys. Today we're going to be talking about the youth of 1976. What actually happened in 1976. Okay, guys, my first question will go like this. What do you think about the youth of 1976? What experience do you have about 1976? I know some of, we were not there in 1976. We have read somewhere where they were talking about 1976, and then we also, our grandparents told us stories of what actually happened in 1976. So I just want a brief on what you guys know about 1976.
I think from my side, like 1976, like what most of us perspective of see 1976 is just like a turning point in terms of education or fighting against apartheid system, specifically the education system. But I think Mawetu can agree when we say that 1976, the June 16 uprisings, the Soweto uprising, is also a pivotal point that contributed to the end of the apartheid. You see that time when our political leaders was in prison and etc. So it comes back to that, to say that it was adding up to that moment of 1994. You see, so but in terms of saying that 1976, I think that was a very harsh period. I don't know how I would have responded if a language was imposed onto me that I didn't understand. I have no connection to it. And then it was as a medium of instruction at school, not my mother tongue. Like it's a language that was enforced onto us. So I believe that the students or the learners of the Soweto uprising had every right to do the uprising and have every right to fight for the rights to kick out Afrikaans at that stage, I can say, yeah. But I think that if we look at back now, imagine now we are saying that Spanish is being saying Spanish people come to us and say that, you know what, from now on every school in South Africa needs to speak Spanish. I don't know it. That's not my mother tongue. So it becomes issues like that. I mean, like you think about it and you say that, and what happened on that day is something that you still cannot fathom, to say that they actually killed students. People were killed. People were wounded.
Yeah.
And it shows the cruelty of the apartheid government that time. And as much as we are in the stage now, you cannot go back and say like, yeah, they deserved it. Because nobody deserved to die.
Nobody actually deserved to die during that period. Yeah, Mr. Mawethu, what is your view on what actually happened in 1976? Yeah.
No, I think she has closed everything. Mine was just to say those comrades wore, they were soldiers in uniform, school uniform. They were fighting bullets with stones. They stood the test of time, and they stood for what they believed in, and they accomplished their generational mission, which was political freedom, freedom of expression, and they died for us so that we can be sitting here talking with dignity, working in lecture halls, and do whatever we want to do. Because of then, we were restricted in doing whatever we wanted to do. So yeah.
Yeah, I hear you mentioning that they have died for us. So do you think today's generation, the youth, we actually recognize the day June 16 for its purpose? Do we know the importance of that day? Are we actually celebrating that day correctly?
I think I can say yes, I can say no, because of what Nelson Mandela fought for, Activism fought for, was their mission. We still have our own struggles, which is economic freedom. Because of freedom of expression, it's useless if we are not economically freedom. How the youth of today celebrate our 1976 youth, it's not really much enough, but I think our struggles are different now. We can't expect them to use same mechanisms or other weapons they used then in the modern world. Now we can use internet to mobilize millions in seconds. So ours is still a new mission, which is economic freedom, because of each and every generation must have their mission. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any input on that, Miss Aisha?
I think I am sort of agreeing with Mawethu to say that there are people and students who are aware of June 16 and still recognize the importance that they played into setting the tone for being instructed in your mother tongue, you see. But then I still feel that there is this lack of acknowledgement of what they contributed. And some people, they just see it as a holiday. Like you see that, you know what, hey, you are not going to school, it's June 16 tomorrow.
Yeah.
But then you ask them, what's the deeper meaning? They'll be like, no, there was a Soweto uprising. But they don't go into depth like how painful and hurtful that Soweto uprising was. And I think if we can look back to, like, we can also make an example of like an uprising to say that even though like currently we don't have the same issues of fighting for a medium of instruction, but we can say look at the 2008 Fees Must Fall movement. So it's things like that, like the challenges changes. You see, even though the leaders of the country changes, but the system is still the same. Do you understand? So it comes back to say that, yes, we are not fighting for language now, but we're fighting for job opportunities. We are not fighting for language, but we're fighting for free education. We are not fighting for language, but we're fighting for recognition. So there's a lot of things that's interplaying, you see. And I feel like we cannot compare to the current youth to the youth of 1976,
yes,
because the challenges are different. And some things are more severe, you see, and we cannot interrelate. But what we can do is recognize them and acknowledge the change that they brought to us.
Okay, I hear you. So, do you guys think that we are actually benefiting from the struggle of 1976, everything that they fought for? Do you believe that we are still facing this. We are still in the struggle, but facing different challenges. Are we actually benefiting from what they fought for us, or we are actually still in the same struggle?
I think that is a bit of a difficult question, if I can state it like that, because it doesn't have a direct answer.
Yeah.
Because they didn't fight for the youth of 1976 didn't necessarily fight for economic freedom or for opportunities. You see, the fight was centered around the medium of instruction, which was Afrikaans, that was imposed to them by the apartheid government. You see, so it comes down to that, to say that when we look back at our issues, it is different. Do you understand?
Yes.
So, yeah, it's not necessarily a direct question that you can answer immediately.
Okay.
So if we have to acknowledge them, we are acknowledging them. But
Okay.
yeah.
Mr. Mawechi, do you have any input on that one?
Yeah, I think we are benefiting anyway, because of at least now we can express ourselves freely without no restrictions. That's why I was saying they had a mission. They accomplished their mission. What is our mission? Because of we're unemployed, or we want opportunities. We want to own means of production, not only a minority, rather, or certain individual and elite group. They're owning the means of production. So the mountain is still high, and we're climbing it, and we're here. We're not the future, we're here.
That
So,
one.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that mountain one is very true.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that even though we are saying that there's officially 12 languages now, every student has a choice to go and be taught in the mother tongue.
Yes.
You see. And even students who are applying to university, you would see on their certificate that it's home language, English, you see. So the youth of 1976 did their job. We are benefiting from it.
Mm-hmm.
But now the youth of 2025 is fighting for different struggles and different challenges, you see.
Okay. Basically, what you're saying is that we benefited, but then we still have certain challenges that we are actually facing, our own challenges.
Systematic challenges, yes.
Okay. Okay, guys. Looking at today's days, you find a lot of us, actually youth people, we are more invested on social media. I want to understand your view here. What role do you think social media can play in raising awareness, in recognition of the youth of 1976?
We are living in a digitalized era.
Yes.
So we have to modernize, whether we want to or don't want to.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So we have to use every platform to make sure that we are spreading out the word. And I believe that social media has proven to be like a platform where everybody can express themselves, everybody can be held accountable.
Yes.
So there was this case of this learner, this alleged case of the alleged principal.
Case.
Yes.
Yeah.
So do you see that through social media, it got the awareness, it got the government's attention, and it got everyone's attention, where there was national uprising from all different provinces, where there was marching to departments of education. So I believe that if we can use this platform, you see, to create awareness, and not only awareness, but also to educate the younger generation, you
Yes.
see, to say that, you know what, this is what happened. We are acknowledging this and we are recognizing this. And you must know that the people fought for what you have now, but you must fight for something for the future generation to have. So it becomes things like that. So we can use social media in that state to say that, you know what, if that role that they played, we can spread out more awareness and, you see, get recognition more and acknowledgement of the youth of 1976.
Yeah, I get it. We can also teach the upcoming youth about.
Yes, you see, and especially it starts with like us as young people, because we know as children they'll be like, this old man is speaking again, we don't want to listen, you see.
Yes.
But like if a young person can go to you see that in a way that we know that students will accept it, learners would accept it, you see, doing it in a young manner, like to say that, you know what, let's talk about this man, you see, let's engage in this. Yes. You see, but in a playful manner, and then, but also acknowledging the seriousness of the content that we're sharing.
Yes, I get you. Mr. Moichi, do you have any input on that one?
Yeah, no, social media has played, or is playing a very huge role. We have now the liberty to tell our own stories differently. Unlike if you check back 15 years back, where we were deprived some of the information of our fallen heroes. If you also check back in when we were grade 8 or grade 9 history, there was not really much content of our fallen heroes. There were just selected fallen heroes who people spoke, or rather the curriculum then spoke about. But now we have the access. If we want to talk about those who are not really in the public, we have the power to do so. We can even we actually act it out. If you can check even now with Ishaga Ilembe, the fact that there was initial Ishaga Zulu a film. Now there's a new modernized Shaka Zulu, but we are not running away from the roots.
Yes,
it just shows how internet has given us freedom to actually tell our stories the way we want to tell them, not only the way the system wants to portray. I think even it has opened a lot of eyes of the youth, because of then if you check 15 years back, we were not really interested in these things because we were deprived. But now, if you see any video, anything that relates to back in the years or apartheid, we have actually we actually appreciate it more now, because of now things are no longer filtered. The media is no longer filtering or not depending on these big media companies to tell us news or to tell us things that happen there. We are searching ourselves. We have young people who don't need endorsement from any big companies. So even here, we don't need any big company to endorse us in order for us to sit here and have this conversation. So that's the power of media.
Okay, I hear you speaking about heroes and everything. So when we reflect back on the struggle 1976, do you have any heroes, the people that you actually, that their story like caught most of your attention back, looking back on 1976?
I think it's Nelson Mandela, but I actually want to touch more on like our current leader, who's Julius Malema.
Yes.
I think if you check back how he at a very young age he was at the forefront at the age of 9 years. At 9 years, we were playing toys, we were playing with Bonnet, they were playing with, they were learning as to how they can defeat the system. So that's the leader who I can say for me, I relate more to, even when he speaks, even how he narrates the stories. It gets young people to be actually interested. Nelson Mandela was there, everything, but the way they would tell the story, it does not really hit. Remember, why young people, there's a way of telling or rather informing us things that we would appreciate them more. So I think with Abu Mandela, yes, Abu Robert Subuke, Steve Biko, all of them, they are our heroes who even today's time we look up to them, we never forget them. But if you check it in an angle that they relate more to our parents can relate more to them because of now they were there then.
Yes.
Understand? Yes.
Okay, Miss Aisha, do you have any input on that one?
I think if we're speaking like specifically from the June 16, 1917 context,
Yes.
I would say that it would be Hector Peterson. I believe being at that young age, protesting and uprising, I mean, like, some of our high school learners currently wouldn't even dare to step their foot. When they're saying there's a protest, they would stay indoors. So I'm just highlighting that. You see that confidence, that urge, that drive that he had, you
Yes.
see, and then to be killed, you see, it is something that is remarkable, man. But if you look in the context now, we would say that student activism is not as strong anymore. Like,
Yeah.
some people are saying that it's dying along the way, because people are saying that protest is not needed anymore. When they want to discuss things, they must sit around a table, you see. And we know sometimes as students, they would just be fine with things. You know what? It's fine. We're not doing these things. And it's not that I'm encouraging protest, but I am just highlighting the things to say that students
Must fight.
Yeah, they must fight, whether it's sitting around a table, whether it's protesting, but they must fight for themselves.
Yeah.
And they must fight for themselves to know that if Hector Peterson at that young age could have done it,
Then we can also do
then
it.
we can also do it. And look what they have achieved. And look here, we are still bearing the fruits of it.
Yes.
So which means that if you fight for something that you are finding that is oppressing you, and you are feeling that everybody is being oppressed in the situation, and there's challenges that you are facing.
So, okay, I get you. From the points that you're telling me, it's that the struggles that we are actually facing in nowadays, we can actually use that same strategy that they used in fighting our own challenges, because they were voicing out. So what you're basically saying is that we must voice out the very same way that they did.
Oh no, not the same way.
I get you,
not
but
with stones,
yeah.
yes, but we must voice out our challenges and our issues that we are facing, you see.
Okay.
Whether it's roundtable discussions but we must voice it out, and to make sure that whoever we are voicing it out to is hearing us.
Yes.
And the change is coming. Because remember, as much as we're saying that we can voice out, but how long are you going to voice out?
Yeah.
Because the thing is that the same people who's leading the country now is the people that fought apartheid, you see. Who's leading the country is the same people that made way for us, you see. So I think it comes down to that, to say that we don't need to fight them with stones anymore, you see.
Yes.
Yes, but we need to raise our voice, you see, in terms of that, yeah.
Like, no, I think she's in a nutshell, she's saying that we must use 1976 strategy because of it's the fundamental, or the foundation of what we are today. There's no way that we must say let's always talk, sit around the table, when even on tables there's no resolutions, there's no proper concrete things. It's a culture that if we don't get what we want, we must take it to the streets, and we must continue with that. We must not be shaken, be told that no, we'll be expelled whatsoever. At least being expelled, knowing that you fought for something right, at least you can sleep peacefully at night.
Yes.
Unlike having to.
I think I will need to interject there. That expulsion, I believe that the youth of 1976 they fought for something, you see, and we are here at university. You see,
Yes.
we are here at university. And remember, I think as students, we also need to be cognizant why you are here in the first place. Because the reason you are here is to get educated, change environments at home, and build a future for yourself. So it becomes that. So I am always saying to students, and I believe like some of the housecom, I usually tell them that when you fight, don't fight to lose yourself in the process. You see,
Yes.
because the thing is that we are at a stage or at a period in our lives that we don't need to lose ourselves during a fight.
Yes.
Because it's not the apartheid government where they'll say that you can be killed now. Do you understand? So when you are fighting to say that, you know what, we must do this. And fighting doesn't mean that you must burn down the school buildings and call people all kinds of names, you see. So I am just highlighting that one out there.
You actually have to fight in an ethical way.
Yeah, in an ethical way, in an ethical
Like, I
way.
think-
Because it comes back to my way to, I am saying this, and I'm taking this from like your experience as a SRC member, to say that when you guys got expelled, the students you were fighting for, were they there?
No, like you need to understand one thing. If you take position of leadership, such things are going to come.
No,
You are not wait.
I do not agree there.
Like allow me to finish.
Okay.
If you take a position of leadership,
Yes.
you are fighting for students. You are putting your life on the line for what you believe it's going to benefit the masses. The same way the generation of 1976 did. They did that. They did not hide in rooms drinking coffees. They were at the forefront doing that.
Okay.
So you can't say, you cannot put a formula or rather have a policy like, hey, comrades are going to fight like this.
way.
No.
There's no.
Can I give my 2 cents on that? So let's get back to this context now.
Okay.
The reason the youth of 1976 fought the way they fought is because they didn't have the platform that we have now.
Okay.
That's the first ground that I'm setting.
They didn't have
They
as
couldn't
much
set-
as we have now.
Yes, they didn't have that.
Yes.
Ne? Second of all, is that you don't have to fight the way they fight anymore. Do you understand?
I get you.
You don't have to fight, and the reason why I'm saying that is because you are not fighting the same people that they fought. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, which means that you can engage. It's people that is supposed to understand how you are fighting and why you are fighting. And then when you come back, when you are fighting, you shouldn't just fight for the sake of fighting. You must bring solutions also to say that, you know what, this thing is happening.
Yeah.
And this is how this thing is happening. Now, in your case that you have mentioned, the example that you've made here now, to say that no, this thing is happening, you are sitting there and sitting there. I can say that the issues as an SRC members, the issues that I have faced or that I assisted students with, especially like, I think the biggest issue that I faced as an SRC member was the third year education students, you see.
Yes.
That's the biggest issue. Did you see that students went to protest because of that? No, they didn't. Why? Because I said that myself, I will go and engage with the leadership.
Peacefully. Having to...
And what happened? Third year students are here. They managed to register. They did that. So I'm saying that not every way needs for you to go and say, "Hi, comrades, let's go." What is that word you say? Usikilene. Yes. So it becomes things like that. Like you need to be cognizant that, and you need to think to say that certain fights does not need you to burn. Certain fights does not need you to throw stones.
Jump in.
Yes.
Like, I think it's extremely wrong to rather characterize young people as people who don't think or who don't bring solutions before doing whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
There's no way that you would say that before we burn first before we engage, or we protest first before we engage.
Yes.
We sit down, we engage, and the only route we resort to, which is protesting, happens after engagements.
Yeah. When you see that they are not actually giving you solutions.
And it's also wrong for you to say that the youth of 1976 it's fought a different battle because of, even now as we're fighting the system has not changed.
But it was not the same battle. They were fighting for the instruction of the language, the medium of instruction. We are fighting for different challenges.
No.
They didn't fight for NSFAS issues. They didn't fight for allowances. I am raising important points because I think you are not interpreting what I'm saying.
Allow me to jump in.
Yes. Yeah, let's...
There's a common thing that our current youth is fighting and then the youth of 1976 is fighting.
Yeah.
The system has not changed. Now they are wearing suits, they're in big offices, they're cruising nicely, they're drinking rooibos and biscuits. It's the same system. It's the same system. Just that then, they were wearing a police uniform. Now, they're wearing suits. But if you check, there's a common thing, the system.
Yes.
If you say we're fighting a different battle, yes, we're fighting a different battle of economic freedom. But who are we fighting for? Who has the economic freedom? It's the system. So you cannot take it away and say no, we're fighting different people. We're not fighting, we're fighting the same people, which is the system. The system has not changed.
You see,
just because of
you
now,
see this thing, Nelson.
Just because of now,
it's important to listen with comprehension. Like you need to listen in order to comprehend.
Yes.
Now, the thing is, first of all, he didn't listen. When there was the start of this podcast, I clearly stated that the people leading the country is a different color, ne? And that the system is the same, ne? The system is the same. There's systematic oppressions. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities granted and things, but there are still systematic challenges faced. You see, like the history that we are learning, the scholars that we are learning, they are not African scholars.
That's the system. You are agreeing with me.
I am saying, listen, I am saying that we're fighting the different people. We're not fighting the national party now.
No.
We're not fighting the national party. You see this thing of listening with comprehension, but we can move on. We can
it's
move on.
complex, this is my brother.
Yes. Guys,
Like
thank you.
Can I just finish? This
You
thing
must
is complex.
think before you answer.
It does not
To
want
think
you
before you
to-
answer is very important.
I hear all your inputs, guys.
It's the system.
Yeah, I want us to actually touch on something. We'll come back on that. Yeah, I'll come back on that. Okay, going forward, I heard Mawetu a few minutes ago. He was touching on Hector Peterson being involved in the struggle. So if you look at the Hector Peterson, the picture where Hector Peterson was carried, we see the likes of Antonot Sithole, Hector Peterson, and the sister of Hector Peterson at the forefront. Ladies were there. So do you think that ladies now are recognized enough? Are they given the same powers? Is there anything different that's happening now better than before regarding ladies?
I want to hear his answer first.
No, I think with Emma, we support women on top. We love women on top. We don't want women to be included. Women must lead.
Yes.
So currently, women don't really have or rather, they're not really much represented, even in a lot of sectors, from business, even means of production. Majority is men who are leading the means of production.
So what you're basically saying is that, I want you to give me an answer where, we can say a yes or no. So basically, you are saying no, women are not really actually recognized.
Yes.
They are not given enough status.
Yes.
Okay, Miss Aisha, what's your input on that one?
I think women have developed a lot.
Yes.
They have developed a lot. I think we can, in the context of the university, we can raise the issue to say that, you know what, the important development of our VC, Professor Deborah, that's going to be the first female Vice Chancellor of the institution. So it shows that they are going into spaces now, but it's a very slow process. Okay. Because we would still see that most of the important positions, they are occupied by males. I think it's the Dr. Poppy that is the Premier of Limpopo, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So, but if you check the other provinces, it's mostly males. You see, so it becomes issues like that to say that the spaces, women needs to occupy the spaces, you see, and more representation of females are indeed needed. But since from the development of 1976, I would say there has been an increase of women representation, you see. Yes. You see, even in the SRC, we can see the gender balance is there. So it becomes things like that. So But we need to, the next SRC must probably only be females, but yeah.
Okay, I get you. So do you think something that's actually delaying the process of women leading, is it actually women not wanting to lead, or the system? Like, for example, let me say, is the country doing enough to uplift women to lead? Or it's women actually, sometimes they just
Why are you looking?
actually women sometimes they just drag themselves back, because some of them, they still have that mentality that says we must let men lead.
I think it comes with the social ideologies that were set there. You
Yes.
know, in the past it was said that men go out to work and do the work, women stay back in the house and watch the kids.
Yeah.
So I think that in order for us to make sure that most of the females that are also upcoming, like, want to occupy spaces, we also need to decolonize most of that, to say that, you say that we are removing that perspective to say that women are supposed to be in the kitchen, because there are still some parts in South Africa where they say that, where men would say that they do not want you to get an education.
Yes.
You see, so it becomes things like that. So we need to speak to things like that. And also, there's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about in terms of saying that, with what's recently going on, to say that there was discussions to where women have to sleep with men to get positions. So that is also an issue, you see. And then there's women are occupying the space. I can say that in my archaeology class, and the students that are there, it's 99% females.
Yes.
So which means that the archaeological space that we're going to take, it's going to be females.
By females.
It's going to be occupied by females.
Yes.
So I'm saying that the opportunities must be broadened, you see, for females to take up that spaces, because it's not like we don't want to. We want to take up that spaces. But if you want to give me a space that comes with conditions, I am not going to take it up. Do you understand?
Yes.
So if you grant me an opportunity, I am very active. If you want to give me an opportunity to go and do something, I will go and do it. You see, to show that females can do it. Because if you look and you see the spaces that females are taking over now, and see that, you know what, because as a young girl, if you see a female doing so much work, or doing, like, taking up spaces, because we would usually taught in primary school that principals are not, principals are only for males.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And teachers are supposed to be only, like, females. You see, but it changes over time, and we need to adapt to that, you see.
Okay.
So yeah, but also feminism doesn't come with breaking down men, you see. So we need to be, yeah.
Okay, guys, we have come to the end of our lovely conversation. So I want you guys to give advice to the youth of today about why it is important to recognize the youth of 1976, and why we should respect the day June 16 and not just see it as a holiday.
Why we should?
Why we should respect the day June 16, and why we should recognize June the year 1976 for its main purpose. I don't know if you get my point.
Okay, now I do understand. I think the advice I would give, especially like to younger students, is to, there's this saying that know where you come from, and it will guide you. It will guide you to where you are going.
Yes.
So you need to understand that you are in this space because of what happened in 1976.
Yes.
You are speaking your language and you are being taught in your mother tongue because of what happened in 1976. So it becomes things like that. So I would say that to them, that in order for you to move on and to make a valuable contribution to society, go and read, expand your knowledge about the Soweto uprising, and see what the important role they played to assist you to get where you are today, so that you can know what part you need to take future to the future and to know what you should settle for and what you are worthy of.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Mowetu, do you have any advice that you can give to our youth?
I think the youth, or rather individuals or young people who want to be part of leadership must understand one thing, that whatever they are fighting for, there's going to be consequences.
Yes.
And that's what comes with leadership. You can't take a position and think you are going to cruise nicely.
Yes.
No. And even those who are going to run for SRC in this coming SRC elections, you must take a position and know, are you fighting for the students or are you fighting for yourself?
Okay.
So that students are aware as to who they are electing. You can't say that as a student leader, we are going to be a lenient with management, whereas you are seeing that the management is not being lenient with students.
Yes.
No, you must go back and allow people who are serious with advocating for students to lead. We don't want people who are going to be drinking biscuits there and coffees there. No.
You don't drink biscuits.
No.
Okay.
You understand me?
Yes, I
do. So, with me is just be brave. Don't be easily shaken. It's an experience. It's a journey.
Yes.
That one has to go through. You know, being in university is one important stage in a young person's life, that they have to make mistakes.
Yes.
They must find themselves, so that when they leave, they have an idea where they're going.
Yeah.
Not a situation of being scared to do things. Because even me, I was told, no, because of you're a musician, you can't lead. Because of you're a teacher, you can't. No, I did everything that I wanted to do. And now I know which things work for me.
And what doesn't work for you.
What doesn't work for me. What do I want for me. So I will encourage young people to do whatever they want to do, because of it's an important stage in your life.
Okay, I hear you guys. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you guys for actually showing up and honoring our invite. It was actually a very nice, lovely conversation, and I hope that even next time when we invite you, you'll actually take the initiative to come and join us and engage more on other topics that we'll be discussing on that day. And I'm your boy, Cookie Nelson, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and also follow. It is very important for us to actually grow our YouTube channel.